Hi, howdy, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to do some exercises for learning how to do the basic perfect paradigm. This is from Bartelt Chapter 4. I think I wrote Chapter 3 in the things there. I'll fix that. This is take 2. Phone rang. See how I do, if I do any better. So let's get right to it. Let's look at the document screen. I was already doing that stuff when the phone rang. Got to actually work. We're going to write in Hebrew. This stuff I'm hoping you can do. If you can't do B, drill B, you need help. And I'll be glad to do so. I'll be glad to help you because this is just like rote exercises stuff. You just gotta be able to do this. If you can't, let me know. I don't think you should be able to do number. Yeah. Anyways, a couple of tricks in there, but nothing really hard. If you're being flummoxed by that, then again, I'll help you. Reach out and get in touch with me, and I'll do the best I can to kind of get you over that hump. If you really want to get good at Hebrew, though, you have to write in Hebrew. And you're never going to be corresponding with a rabbi in Jerusalem, obviously, right? But what this does is it slows you down and makes your mind rest. And you can drive out the depravity and the despair of your agonized mind. Well, it's thinking in 4 different directions at the same time, almost literally in Hebrew, right? And you just sit down and you kind of get these rote little rules down pat. So let's down pat it and do some of that. So we're going to say she sent the messenger. That's number 3 here. By the way, as always, buy the book. That's part of what I'm trying to encourage you to do too. Buy the book. Did I switch over? Yeah. What did she say? She sent the messenger. So Hebrew, first and foremost, is a verb subject object lesson. We're going to write that up here. Verb subject object, right? And so you start with the verb and you go from there. She sent the messenger. And we start with the triliteral root. To send is 3 letters, shalach. Okay. And it is part of the paradigm. This is chapter 4, so there's no confusion or tricks or major variations. And so you just do katal, katala, katalta, katalti, katalu, kataltim, katalten, katalnu. And you kind of work through that third masculine, third feminine. He killed, she killed. It's katala. This is shalacha. And so we write our lovely little third singular feminine thing there. This is a vocalic ending, which means that that you're going to get in the immediately preceding syllable a vocal schwa, and before that, to let you know this is an extraordinary case, you're going to get a nice little metheg. Shalacha, from ka to la, she sent. Notice you do not need a pronoun because it's inherent in the verb, right? She sent. By the way, let's get the sentence up here. She sent the messenger. Give me the money or I will break your arms. Okay. She sent the messenger. And you start with this messenger. And by the way, here you clearly have to do your grammar. What is basic grammar here? She sent the messenger. We have a transitive verb, which means to say that the actor of the verb is acting upon something. That is the direct object, okay? So we have a direct object, messenger, and that is mal. Can I set things aside so that I know I have room for mistakes and also other stuff that I might need to remember, right? It's the messenger, so let's add the cloak and dagger hey and red so that we don't miss him. Ha plus doubling. Are there any rules invoked here that I need to worry about? Some sort of schwa or... Nope, nothing there. It's all good. Ha mal ak. Now, I learned in this chapter that when you have a definite direct object, you often have something called a definite direct object marker, and that is eth. And I'm going to write him in orange. No, I'm not. I'm going to write him in blue. Tangled up in blue. Is that a song? Eth. Now, you have a choice here. Either let it freestand and have a serif there, or get your purple pen out and make a I've forgotten the word for it. There you go. I drew a blank. Makif, yeah, and make it a segol. Because when you have a makif, you basically cause proclitic things to happen. And what proclitic means is it loses its accent, and so it can't hold a long vowel in a short, closed, unaccented syllable, right? It wants to be short. So there you go. She sent the messenger. No problems, right? Very good. You're doing great. I know I'm going a lot faster than you. You can slow this down and watch it again. Stop it and rewind and watch it again. Or you can do it in slow motion if you want. Let's do number 5. We observed the Torah. Let's write that on the board. Verb, subject, object. Just a reminder, right? When you're taking quizzes and exams, write notes to yourself like this right away. Get a blank sheet of paper out. I can't think of a teacher who wouldn't allow you to have a blank sheet of paper out so you could scribble stuff like this down. VSO is an important one, right? We observed, an R, a V, there we go, the Torah. And this is really cool that he leaves the Torah untranslated because it really is the best. Because the Torah is equivalent to the whole counsel of God. That's what Torah refers to. Sometimes it includes the law. The law is subsumed under the Torah, see? And so if you learn it as Torah and not law, you're probably doing better. Okay? Let's put a period there, my goodness. The audacity of an unperioded sentence. We observed. Okay, so that is a vocabulary word. We need to make it, remember the verb, subject, object, so we're looking for the verb first, observe. And that is a vocabulary word that has a derived meaning from watch, guard. You have shamar. That's a samar, shamar. And we're going to put it in the first person common plural, we. All right, so here we go. What is it? Well, katal, third singular masculine, third singular, katala, katalta, katalt, katalti. That's first person common singular. Go over to the plurals, katalu, kataltim, katalten, katalnu. We killed. But we're going to observe. And so we have the nu ending from katalnu. And that's a light consonantal ending, which means that you have an accent that will not pull. It's not heavy enough to pull the accent toward itself, and so you have no change in the vowels. Shamarnu. And that says, we observed. Okay? You don't need a pronoun. It's in the sentence. Now we have the Torah. The vocabulary word is Torah. Let's write it out in Hebrew letters. And it wants to be definite. The Torah. Ha plus doubling. And again, we have this compelling reason. It's a definite direct object. We have a verb which allows the subject to act upon the object, which makes it transitive. This is a definite direct object. And so we're going to add the F so that we all know who the object of the verb is. You don't really need it with the first person common plural because it's not going to be ambiguous, but they're going to give it to you. And again, we have the choice. Shall we leave it freestanding, or shall we use a makif and make a proclitic thing there? See how much you learned by doing this? Yeah, good. All right, so now, where the rubber hits the road is when you're translating sentences. Okay? Because that's what you're really trying to do, translate and interpret. But you're going to have to translate. You can see we're doing number 8. That's where the phone rang. Let's do number 8 and get that down. I tried to copy and paste. It wouldn't work in Paint. So we'll just have to remember the words one by one. Amarti. So let's go over to Paint and look at that. Amarti. We want to do verb, subject, object, right? And so we look at the verb, subject, object. We look at the verb position, and we find amarti. And my word, that looks an awful lot like a verb, doesn't it? And there's a couple of clues that you have. First of all, you have the accent there with this T ending. Catalti, right? Catal, catala, catalta, catalti. This is the first common singular from a root amar. And so that says, I said. Okay? And what did I say? Well, let's take a look back at it. Eth ha-devarim. It's going to be a transitive verb again. I just need to know the difference. I got to do my grammar. There's a grammar book out. I forget. I have it, and I should like hold it up and show it to you. A little handbook for basic grammar for people who are learning languages. To remember, what is a transitive verb? One in which the subject acts upon the object, right? Well, what's the object? Well, somebody's being acted on by the verb, right? What is being acted upon here? The words. I said the words. It's barely transitive, but it's still transitive, right? I said ethadaverim. I've given it away, but let's put that on the board, right? And I'm just going to put these up in random spots, right? Because I'm going to run out of room. It's probably got a dash. We'll pretend it does. Ha, de. What's the dog-ash? Va, reem. First thing I see right away is this is my definite direct object marker. So I'm going to have a definite direct object, which means I'm going to have a definite article in there somewhere. There it is, the. And more than that, I've got eam. That's an S, or plural of something, right? I said the somethings, and I look up davar, and I find that it says words. I said the words. Okay. Now let's look at the next phrase. La malak. Ooh, man, what does that say? Well, let's take a look at it and start taking it apart. I'm going to write that word over here. La mal ak. Boy, that's a tricky one. What is that? Well, I've got a lot of consonants and a lot of vowels. How am I going to do this? Well, first of all, I see a doggish forte. I got to take care of that. What's that doing? Well, it's a doggish forte for sure, so it's a doubled root. When does that happen? Geez, I don't really know, but it's closing a syllable of some sort. And oh, cloak and dagger, hey. That's what that is. That's the feet of the definite article. And then, well, what happened? Where's the definite article? Well, it slid behind this lamed, and I got to check. Is that one of those three? The baith, the lamed, and the kaf. That's right, it is. It's one of those three. And so I'm going to test it. I don't know that I'm right yet, but I'm going to test it to see if it works. So I've got a lamed and a hopless doubling, right? So two, this is what do you call it? Provisional. Two, and I'm going to always be right. That's not fair. And then I've got malak, messenger. I said the words to the messenger, send me the money or I'll break your thumbs. Is that what the next thing is? It works though, right? And so I go backwards. How would that work if I were writing it in Hebrew without cheating? This is a really good way to check your work. Messenger is malak. That's that. Oops, messed that up. I don't know why these two dots go here. They just do. Malak. Okay, I need to add the definite article, the messenger. Ha plus doubling. To the messenger is going to be a different color. Lamed plus schwa. Oops, that doesn't work because I've got a cloak and dagger. Hey, get rid of that. Ooh, he hides behind there. And this is going to slide over. And this is going to pass out in the corner. Actually, be deleted. La malak. And is that what I had in the sentence? La malak, it is. So that's to the messenger. I've gone backwards and forwards. And so I'm confident now. I might still be wrong, but at least you're confident. Sin boldly. When you're doing a language, just go pull full bore. And if you're wrong, it's okay. Honest, it's okay. You'll be all right, even though you're wrong. Let's do number... Oh, wait, we're not done yet. Ba midbar. Holy moly, another bunch of letters. That's a lot of consonants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're definitely taking something off of here, aren't we? So let's get that up here. I had to erase it for space, you know. Ba mid bar. Do 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 do. Ba. Oops, too many dots. Mid bar. Okay, same problem, right? I see a lot of letters, but I do see a couple of things that'll help me. There's a doggish in this letter, that cannot take a doggish lene, so it must be doggish forte. And I also see telltale signs of the feet, baith, lamed, kaf, right? Those are the three, and sure enough, it's one of them. Let's take it apart. Baha midbar, and that's in. Get a prettier color here. In the wilderness. Okay. Let's do wilderness. Wilderness is midbar. Midbar. It's the wilderness, so it's ha plus doubling. In is baith. And you can't do that because you have cloak and dagger hay. The hay does a little move. Oops. It doesn't do that. The hay does a little move to hide. And gone. And the baith does the scooting over. Not that far. Get rid of that. And the schwa passes out in a corner, having been drugged. Ba midbar. Is that what I have? It is what I have. See, just check your work. And from that point, you should be confident that you got it right. In the wilderness. And let's check the sentence to make sure it makes sense. I said the words to the messenger in the wilderness. So you don't have anything obviously nonsensical. That won't always get you off the hook because the prophets utter a lot of nonsense. And we fix it in the translations. But don't worry about that. But this is a good rule of thumb. 80% of the time, if you don't have nonsense, you're probably right. One more sentence and then we'll be done. Because I want to go hunting. And it's late. And I had to restart this thing. So let's take a look here. At the very last one, which is a fun one. Bachar, ha'am. Now look at Bachar, ha'am, ba'eved, lamelech. A lot of words there. Okay, Bachar. Is that in the verb? That's in the verb position. Let's make sure and see if it's a verb. Bachar is pretty easy. That sure looks like he chose. So let's provisionally put that up here. He chose. And let's look at the rest of it. He chose ha'am. Okay. Ha'am is... I misspelled this yesterday in class. But I think with the definite article, you get that. Is that right? I think it changes spelling. Yep. Ba'eved. So he chose ha'am. I'm just doing the words. The people. Because I'm in a hurry, but you can see what I did, hopefully. That is people, and I recognize the definite object, the definite article. Ha'am. Ba'eved. And I've got Ba'eved. And again, I have cloak and dagger hay stuff here. That is from the compensative lengthening. And there's a baith, which is in. So in. And just let me make a mistake. The slave. Hey, that's going to be our trick, isn't it? And let's see here. And the next word is lamelech. to a king, right? Lamelech. This will be fun in class tomorrow. I can't wait. Right? Lamelech for a king. 2 or 4. Let's put 2 or 4. A king. And let's make some decisions here. He chose the people in the slave for a king. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's the nonsense rule, right? VSO. Let's check the subject position. This is a third person singular masculine, right? Or third masculine singular. I forget how you're doing it. It's 3MS. Third masculine singular. Is the subject position, in the subject position, is there a candidate that fulfills the antitype of third person singular and masculine? Why? Yes, there it is. There is. This is in the wrong place for English. Wretched English. That's not going to work. And it's going to be more like this. The people chose in the slave for a king. Still not making quite much sense, but we got subject right. What about object? Well, we have this preposition baith. Oh, that's right. You're kicking yourself or hurting yourself now. This is that stupid verb, bachar, that uses baith as its direct object marker. Actually, yeah, it's a definite direct object here. The people chose the servant or the slave for a king. Come on. Oh, I touched something. There we go. And let's just get rid of the 2, 4. And we're testing to a king, for a king. And that carries the sense of like, well, as a king. Well, why not a kaf? Well, because that's a simile word, I think. Maybe this is a sentence that was kind of contrived. But see, that's the point, is all the stuff still works, though. The people chose the slave for a king. The key to this one was, as for a quick review, 2 things. First, this is the subject of the verb because it's a third singular masculine verb. And you check the subject position for a subject of a third person verb. For second persons and first persons, you're not going to have a person there. On occasion, you'll have a pronoun, but that's going to be something later, and you won't be fooled by this by that point, right? The second thing that was important about this was that bachar uses the baith as its direct object marker. The people chose the slave for a king. Well, that's all for today. Join me next time for the introduction to Chapter 6, Major Variations, which is very fun. I really like the major variations. But, well, maybe you won't like them so much. But I guarantee you'll love them. All right.